Hello there, YouTube family, and welcome into today's video, which is going to be something that I've been kind of thinking about for a while, but you guys have probably seen it if you're die-hard watchers of YouTube. I'm sure that this idea has come up somewhere back in the past, but as YouTubers, we're always trying to think of something fun and new and different that we can do for you guys. So I thought that it'd be really fun to take one palette and see how I can make that palette work for every single thing on my face. And I'm not just talking eyeshadow, eyeliner, that kind of thing. I want to do my brows, I want to do my contour, I want to do my highlight, my blush, everything. So I chose this one, the Soph X palette from Makeup Revolution, because basically this has so many gorgeous shades in it that you can do so many things with. And if you guys haven't picked this up, it's an affordable palette. I think it's $15 when it's not on sale. And I know that you can get things on sale at Ulta all the time. So this is a really, really great versatile palette. For eyeshadow all by itself, but today we're going to be using it for the purposes of doing the entire face. So let's get on with this. First thing I'm going to do is eyes. And I'm doing my eyes kind of in a little bit of a reverse situation here today because I really, really want the plum color that I'm going to be using to be a standout color in my eye look today. And so I'm taking this darker plum color right here and I'm going to load my brush, and this is going to be a full face tutorial basically. So I don't want to get too involved in exactly what I'm doing, and a lot of this stuff can be seen on my last tutorial, so go ahead and take a peek at that if you want to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go right down into this crease right here, and I'm going to just build this crease up with my dotting motions that I use. I use stippling motions instead of windshield wiper because of the shaking hands. So I'm bringing it all the way over, but I'm bringing it really down because I don't want the straight line technique today. Again, I'm picking up some more of the purple right here and loading the brush. And then we're going to go on this eye. And what I'm doing here is just basically going deep into the crease and putting all of that vibrant purple right there on the outside. And I just want to basically just lay down color. Now yesterday, I don't know if any of you watched this yesterday, but Wayne Goss gave the best tutorial on aging eyes that are folded right here in the corner. So I'm going to be using that tip today on what he said to do. However, I'm going to do it a little bit different. He used the eyeliner that he was using. He didn't use like a mixing medium or anything. And I am going to be using my NYX multitasking mixing medium to make that eyeliner. So a tiny little dot, hopefully you can see that. And then I'm going to use a pencil brush, just a really tiny little pencil brush that's very stiff. I'm going to go into the same purple color right here. It's the only purple in the palette. Going back and forth between the brush and the color, and I'm using the corner because if you get your whole color wet with any sort of a mixing medium or anything, you're going to lose that color. It's just going to not be good anymore. So I am just kind of just mixing up that color. Now what Wayne did was he went all the way along the bottom. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go all the way along the bottom, and I am going to bring my color right here at this little fold. You get those little folds when you get older, right there. And then what happens is, because that looks skipped, it doesn't look natural. And that's what he was showing us yesterday. I thought that was so good. I will go ahead and I will try to remember to link his video. If not, you can just look it up under his video from yesterday. I love watching him. He's great. So I'm loading my brush again for the other eye. And what he was saying is go ahead and line that eye, but make sure that you go straight over that little fold that we get when we're older. And yes, this is a fantastic tip, and I will be employing it. I did that anyway, but I never really thought about it the way that he said. Because if you can see a skip there, you can definitely tell that your eyes are turned down or that they're sagging as you age. So that was one tip that I was like, oh, dang, learn something new every day. Now I have that liner, you know, kind of just connecting those two completely. Now I'm going to take this fluffy brush from Moda. It's just a fluffy brush for eyeshadow, fluffy shader brush, and I am going to just keep pushing all of the shadow over and up towards the tail of my eyes. Okay, so next I'm going to take a different color with that fluffy brush, which is this color right here, which is a matte kind of a peach color. And this time I'm going to stipple across as a transition color. So if you noticed, I'm kind of doing things a little bit backwards from what everybody does on the transition colors and the crease colors. The reason that I'm doing it this way is because I really like the effect of having something that is kind of blown out a little bit, and that's what I'm going for right now. So just blend your life away until it starts to look like a very, very blended look. Next, I'm going to take this white color right here, which is a pretty stark highlighting color, and I'm going to put that across my lid, and I'm just going to dab it with my finger until I get it to where I want it to be. And again, you guys know that I always apologize for my shaking hands, but for anybody that's new, I do have a disability, and I try not to let that disability stop me. And I continue to do makeup, and I will continue to do tutorials as long as I possibly can. So I'm bringing this in like a triangle on my eye, on that inner corner, so that this out here can be a little bit deepened and it can be pulling it. So pulling it up, excuse me. So that is why I kind of do like that little triangle there. Okay, I'm also going to take a little, this is just a flat, really flat, little tiny brush. Don't ask me where I got it from because I have no idea. And I'm going to take that color again, and I'm going to go into the corner of my eye and down just a little bit. And I'm going to bring it and I'm going to blend it right here with my eyeshadow and on the other eye. Okay, I'm going to pull this. I'm not going to put anything more on that pencil brush, but I am going to pull this color over just ever so slightly because that pencil brush has quite a bit still on it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a shader brush, a flat domed shader brush, and I'm going to just darken this up just a tiny bit by taking the plum color that I used, and I'm going to go into this brown color. And all I'm going to do is just deepen out the outer V. So going into the corner, deepening that up and bringing it down a tiny bit. And that is it. That's the easiest way that I know to do what Wayne said yesterday, and it's really, really pretty. And then no mixing medium this time. Take your pencil brush, go right down into the brown color, and just put it right there on the outside corner of your eye, and go into that little fold. When I say little fold and you don't know what I'm talking about, sometimes when we age, this skin right here can fold over right there. It can be pulled down and fold over. So if you really blend through that and you make the bottom color the same as this color right here on your eye, then you're definitely going to get a very, very pretty, just cohesive look that doesn't show up the texture that is right there. So next what I'm going to do is my brows. And I'm going to go into this color right here, which is kind of a darker brown, but but it's more along the lines of a ashy brown. I like to do that because my coloring has a natural ash to it in my hair. So I'm going to go right there into this one. And then that one. This is just a spoolie on one side and a brush on the other side, and I'm going to do my brows. Okay, and so because that was just an eyeshadow, what I'm going to do is just use this clear gel from Benefit to set them. And brows are something that I really cannot talk as I do them, or I'm going to mess them up bad. So I apologize for not being able to talk in there. And then I also want to put something in my waterline. So I'm going to use this Catrice 18-hour color pencil, and I'm going to use my sponge so I don't mess up my eye makeup too much, my concealer too much. And then I'm just going to do just a little bit. I'm not going to go too dark with that, but I like a little bit of line in there. Okay, and then my Essence felt tip liner I'm going to do across the top. Okay, so we're going to move on now, and we are going to take the e.l.f. small stipple brush, and I'm going to do some contouring. And so I'm going to use those two colors that I actually just used for my brow. I'm going to start by loading my brush just a little bit with the lighter color, and then I'm just going to barely bounce into that darker color. I always love doing contour because I feel like it helps my face look so much thinner. So I'm going to take that brush and I'm just going to go right in here. If you guys are interested, I can definitely point you towards a contour video that I have. And I'll try to, you know what I don't like? I don't like it when YouTubers say I'm going to throw it up in a card and the card never shows up. So I'm going to quit saying that because you know what? We forget. Even while we're editing, what happens is when we edit our videos, we edit it on our own software. Then we upload to YouTube. And then after everything's uploaded, we have to go back in and we have to put those cards on. And it can be a pain, but it is helpful to you guys. We just forget. And so don't be too mad at your YouTubers that forget that. So I'm going across my forehead with that definite shadow color. My forehead is so high. I've got the forehead, and if you don't know what the 4-finger forehead is, it's in the contouring video, and again, I will try to remember to put it up for you. Okay, so along there, and then along my jawline. Okay, so my contouring is all done. You guys can see it when I turn, but when you look straight on, I hope that you can see that that contour helps to thin my face here and here, and helps that high forehead to come down a little bit. Okay, so now I'm going to use my IT Cosmetics. This is the Angled Stippled Blush brush. Say that 4 times really fast. Okay, and what I'm going to do, because this whole quad right here is just really pretty colors that I thought would be so good for blushes. So I'm just going to take it and not worry about that my brush is hitting one color or another. I'm going to actually roll my brush around like this. And then I probably got a ton of color on there. So I'm going to take a tissue and I'm just going to pat that into the tissue to make sure that I don't have too much color on there for my cheeks. And then I'm going to go ahead and just use that as my blush. The one thing that I will say about using eyeshadows as your face products is that what ends up happening is that those products can have more pigment. The eyeshadows have more pigment sometimes than our blushes or our contours and stuff do, but sometimes they have just about the same. So using it for this whole look in a palette has just been really fun. So I bring my blush up all the way into my hairline and up towards my forehead again. I need a little bit more blush on this side, so I'm going to go into that. Put that blush down. Okay, so the color that I want to use for my highlighter is this pink color right here. So I'm just taking a stipple brush that I got from Luxie in a BoxyCharm one time because it's about that size, and I'm just going to lightly pick that up. I'm going to work my highlighter in with those lines as far as going in the same direction as them. So my highlighter is going to go on in those same, like I go like this, and so it's like at a diagonal. So my highlighter is going to go on like that instead of going like this, where I might get that down into the lines. It might not. This is going to actually put it down into the lines first. And then when I smile, I don't look like I have too much texture because it's already down in there and it's not a big deal. So I'm going to do the other side. And I'm going to also do down my nose. I don't do the tip of my nose because I don't like having a shiny end on the tip of my nose. That's just me. Lots of people love it. If you love it, go for it. Okay, there was one thing that I could not figure out how to do. That is my bronzer. And I have been in love with this Afterglow, Tahitian Afterglow Baked Body Frosting from Laura Geller. I really, really like this. It's got a huge pan, nice mirror. I just love this. You can use it anywhere, but I really do like it. And I'm going to warm up my face just a little bit. And when I do that, I do it along where I've already got color, because if you put it where you don't have color, then it doesn't really look natural. So my nose gets a little bit, across my cheeks get some, and then across my forehead where the sun would normally hit you. So now we're going to choose lip color. This is probably my favorite part because what you figure is that your blush and your lipstick really needs to match your eyes. Well, what's nice about doing it in one palette is that this color scheme matches. It goes together so good. And again, what I'm going to take is I'm going to take that mixing medium. I'm going to put it on the back of my hand in just a drop. and I'm going to make a customized lip color. I have a really great paddle brush that is used normally for concealer. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this kind of like peachy orangey color, and then I'm gonna take this coral color. I'm gonna mix those two together, and I'm gonna mix it in the mixing medium, and we're gonna see what we have for a color for our lips. So at this point, basically it's like a matte lip, and it's gonna stay because that mixing medium is holding it. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back into that highlighting color, and I'm gonna put that highlighting color in the middle of my lips to give it a little bit of depth. Okay, so there's the color. It looks a little bit patchy right now, but watch what happens when I put my gloss over it. It's just gonna all look so pretty together. Okay, all that's left for me to do is my mascara, and I'll be right back with you guys. So that's it for today's video, you guys. I hope that you enjoyed me doing a whole entire look out of one single palette. It really wasn't hard to do because this Soph X palette has so many beautiful things in it. But you know what? You don't necessarily need this palette to do that. You could do this with any palette that you have. So I want to thank you all, those of you that stayed to the end. I want to first tell you that the last time people stuck with me to the end, there was a cute little girl named Holly Ann in Texas that won the perfume, and I have to apologize to her because it took me so long to get it out because I have had just things happen one after another and been without a vehicle. But for today, we are also doing this Fantasia palette giveaway from Bad Habit. This palette came out this month. This is the new one right here. Let me just swatch a couple for you so you can see what you're in for as far as the pigmentation and how pretty everything is in here. And just really happy with this palette all around. It has really high pigmentation and it's so pretty. So that's what you got to look forward to. Aren't those colors just gorgeous? And I'm excited to get one to you. So in order to win this palette, I want you to tell me what in this palette was your favorite part of what we did today with the face. Was it the lips? Was it the eyes? Was it the brows, the cheeks, the contour? You tell me which part of it was your favorite, and then you will be automatically entered into this. And that will be a giveaway that will be, I'm going to set a limit on it of about 2 weeks. Today is the 1st of August. So let's just say the 15th of August it'll go till. So I hope that you are all having a fantastic week, a happy Wednesday. If you did like seeing me do my whole entire look with one palette, please give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed and you ring the bell before you leave. I would really love having you here as a part of our YouTube family. That's everything for today. You all have a wonderful day, and I will see you in my very next video. Bye-bye, guys.